Welcome to another episode of Cwt TV. Get to know your hosts, Peter and Helen Yapel, as they are the New York State chapter coordinators of the Human Solution International, where we believe no one should go to jail for a plan. Peter and Helen are ministers, living the changes they wish to see in the world. Peter is a patient that learned the science behind the cannabis plant as he healed. Helen supported and cared for him by learning the medicinal values of foods, and now their allegiance is to the plant. Currently, they teach. They spread the knowledge that they've acquired through all social media, radio, and now through TV. So sit back and learn how to simplify and live a canna lifestyle.
Welcome to another episode of Cwt Talk, where we live the changes we wish to see in the world. How are you today, babe?
I'm great, everybody. Thanks for joining us here each week again, where we try to educate you, we try to entertain you, and we try to teach you how to live a canna lifestyle. Well, again, in our canna lifestyle, things never stop, and we never stop the ball from rolling.
Good thing we treat, because we'd never keep up.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Listen, folks, there's lots of things that make us happy in the course of a day is when we can help people. But the things that make us upset about is the conditions a lot of times in which we're asked to help people with. And we have a very, very sick population that has a plant that could help them tremendously. And it's being held against them in their will. And we try to do every day the best we can to make sure that people have the availability, the knowledge, especially the education
it's
and knowledge that goes
so
behind.
important.
Absolutely.
You know, and I find myself every day just constantly fighting to get people to hear, to understand. I just don't understand why we are still in such an uninformed place.
It's an unfortunate world where we have to become so sick. I mean, to the point of
before
our lives.
Anybody will say
or okay, just it being a last resort.
Maybe I should check into that.
Right. You know, folks, when the problem with data, as far as reliable data with cannabis, is the fact that we haven't been able to study the plant as well as we'd like to. The fact that if we had the opportunity to grab somebody at stage one, we could take care of them and give them a better chance than we do when we normally get them, where they're laying on their deathbed and hospice is there.
Right.
And the funny thing is they get up and walk away, most of them, and that's not an exaggeration, never do is anybody that represents this plant, or should anybody that represents this plant offer anything but hope to people. It's only hope, folks. Nothing can determine whether you're going to stay alive or not except for you and your body.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
the plan only offers hope, but it offers it in a way where you're not going to be sick.
When you're out there, just do your research. Understand. Look up what the endocannabinoid system is.
Please.
Look up what oxidative stress is, what you do every day, what we all do. There is not one single person that doesn't suffer from oxidative stress.
It's just a natural progression of human existence.
But understand it. Understand that cannabinoids promote homeostasis. Understand that homeostasis equals good health. So when we get the knowledge and we decide to live our lives a certain way so that we can achieve that, my God, the things that we can do are endless.
Here's some things that are going on. We got the Port Jervis project, as we know. That's up and running. It's a long time thing, guys.
Sure
We're doing great things. We're empowering Port Jervis.
Teaching a whole community a culture, a way of life.
Yeah, we're there at least 5 days a week, and then in being there, it's stimulated the community. As we said, we wanted to stimulate business. We wanted businesses to get involved.
And we're doing it.
My phone rang last night at 9 o'clock in the evening from a establishment here that serves food, and asked me, where's the local homeless shelter? We'll start bringing our leftover food at the end of the evenings over to the homeless shelter to help feed them. And this is what it's about. It's about the community getting strong, the community
Right.
getting involved with itself.
Right, but just from what we've been doing, that person, that business owner reached out to us.
Right. So it's
That
you see,
speaks volumes.
yeah. Are the numbers
This
that are
works.
eating things are about? Our classes are,
Yes.
10, 12 people strong. That's only 2 weeks. So, I mean, it's catching on. Things are going. We speak tonight in front of the city council.
we do.
As we do every other Monday evening. And we, listen, we're just trying to promote community strength. Again, folks, this isn't a run for office.
Nope.
This isn't a slap in the political party's faces.
It's just
not.
two
It's
people who are
teaching.
recognizing that
Right.
change needs to happen.
And that change is easily obtainable within its own
Right.
community. It doesn't need to get out. Listen, if your government screwed up and are misspending or misappropriating your money, fine. That's when you get involved with them. But understand, you as a community live in the community. It is your community you live in. You are what that community is made up of. You make the community what you want to make it. That's what we say. Be kind. Be kind to the person that lives next to you. If they need something, help them. There's going to be a time you're going to need something. If we all just work together, mind our own, what goes in my backyard is not your business. That's why I have a backyard. And that's why a lot of people build fences.
That's right.
Just mind your own. Stay in your own. And others will mind their own until they need you or you need them. That's what it's about. Otherwise, it's your domicile. That's where you're done with your day and you get to relax and you just get to be you. So just be you. I mean, that's just the nicest way I guess I can put it. You're not stuck on
just
somebody
be the
else's
best
thing.
you
That's right.
that you can be.
That's right. That's
kind of the key to life.
That's
It's
right.
just being the
Well,
best you can be.
It's perfectly said when, Gandhi said, be the change in which you see,
That's
see the
right.
world. Now,
He also
all-
said to truly find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Right. So all these seem very scriptural and very,
But very poignant.
But right, they're not. They're not religious statements.
No.
They're not. They're statements of humanity and
absolutely.
humankind. And be the best. Be the change you wish to see.
That's right.
Not what society hopes to have go on around you. Not what other people's influences and things that we find in our lives that are a pressure for us to succumb to and to follow in suit. Be the best you. Be that change you want. And if we each do this individually, we will live in a beautiful society where we will all get along. We will be achieving happiness. I mean, you know how many people I see on a constant daily basis? It don't matter how good something happens to them. They're still just miserable.
I
They're
know.
miserable. If something is told to them that's contrary or it's going to be a challenge, they get
But wait a minute,
rocked,
you and I both know why that is. Though the majority of the people that are walking around are on some form of medication.
But even if
and
it's
when
not that.
yes, but when that happens, what happens?
It alters
You're
your
blocking their
personality.
bliss.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
you
know,
have
but
miserable people
Listen,
walking
there's
around.
miserable people that aren't on pharmaceuticals. People just because why? Because
I
of
think that
situation.
they've reached a point of cynicism, I guess, right?
No. We work hard. We work our tails off. We still don't have where we live, and that's what it is. And people are just so tired of doing, and not feeling
And
any
not getting
reward.
anything
Okay, not getting any reward from the outside. Now, what I say is, I find that within. It's hard. Please,
Agreed.
guys, believe me, this isn't easy. I fart rainbows and things like that because I choose to do it.
Such a
I mean,
lie.
I choose. Well, not by smell, but I mean, I choose to do that. And why? Because I don't want to be miserable, man. I don't. And we can all achieve that.
Well, happiness is most definitely a choice. I've been saying that for years. People always, are you always so happy? Well, yeah.
Well, with that being said,
Bad things happen. I can get into a bad mood, but I can also say, hey, I need to wash this off.
Yeah, that's her
And I
favorite
need to
statement.
move
Go take
on.
a shower and wash that
Yeah.
off, and you really
And
feel better most of the time.
You
after
do.
All right, listen. What we've done from there is, in one of my moments of meditation and
Indica's
imagery,
digging for
and
gold over there.
imagery, and looking for what my next purpose or how to take the purpose to the next step. came up an idea for the Walk for Change. Now, the Walk for Change
Dang, boy.
is an undertaking in which I'm going to take on. Obviously, my wife will be by my side and such. But I'm going to walk across the United States of America in a show of solidarity. Now, yes, solidarity for the plant. First and foremost, I want the plant free, and I want people to not be imprisoned any longer, and I want to see them all set free. Solidarity. Why? Because we have, as I've mentioned in Pissed Off Pete episodes, we have factions all over this industry that have special interests. And each one of these special interests, they want to be number one, and they want to be relevant and prevalent within the government system of it. Let's forget this, folks. Let's understand, even though we're on different teams for it, our ultimate goal is to free this plant. Our ultimate goal is to have this plant, us to have the freedom to use this plant however we want to use it. So that's just that part of it. So let's bring those groups together for once. Let's all show that we're here for the same purpose, not for individual gain or anything.
You know, and I think Pete's right, and what he's doing and doing this now is so important. We're at a critical point, I think, in freeing this plant right now.
We have a 2020 election coming up,
Yes,
folks. Our
we
president
do.
of the United States again is going to make decisions, and I appreciate 34 states, you know, having having medical programs, and 9 and 10 having legalized cannabis. I appreciate all that great effort of all you people that work so hard. But don't you understand that it means nothing if the federal government does not change this? We're still at the mercy. Go and look at any legal state. You talk to the people in California and you ask them if Prop 64 did them any favors. There are more people sitting
not.
now and going and being prosecuted
Yeah, that's for
before
sure.
there was legalization of the plant. That, you know, for the medical program that they ran since the 70s, that was archaic and such, and yes, might have needed some revamping, but people weren't going to jail for it. Now they can't. Now they go to jail quicker than shit, and that's in a legal state. Well, let's get off the whole cannabis part of this walk. This is a spiritual journey in general. Again, this is for solidarity, folks. We live in a country where we fight, argue. You know, it doesn't matter
Over the
if we're fighting and arguing whether
stupidest
somebody's
things.
black or white, or we're fighting or arguing whether somebody's a meat eater or a plant eater. We fight over, it doesn't matter what it is. This country takes everything it does to an extreme. And it's time we all sit back and say, my gosh, how can we sleep with all this unrest? Let's lay our heads down on a pillow at night knowing we did something right. Now, I'm going to walk across this country. This isn't going to be just like some dude that put a patch on his arm, threw a knapsack on his back, grabbed a cane and started walking and poached his way across the country, earning a dime here and there from people that'll do it. That's not what this is going to be. This is going to be set up in every major city that we can come across. We are going to set up an event when we
Yes.
come into town so that we can sit and speak and again preach solidarity as a human. Solidarity as a human. Your social standing means nothing to me. Your political standing, your race, or your religion. None of that does. What matters to me is you live next to me and you have to live with me. We have to coexist. We have to find a way that we can all be happy. We're not. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I talking, do I think that there's a utopia where everybody's going to be just walking around smiling and speaking? But no, but you can be within your own world and not hurt someone else. Understand that. You can live that life and you can walk that walk. You can have that path of happiness, but doesn't mean that you have to, that it's supposed to run over or impose upon someone else's. So the walk is truly a religious or a spiritual walk. It's a walk for unity and solidarity. It's a walk
It's a
that's
walk
needed.
for change, period.
Absolutely, for change, period, change.
That's it.
And we, listen, you know, get a bandana. That's going to be a thing we're going to do. When we walk by you, if you've got a bandana, we'll tie it on my walking pole, we'll throw it in the trailer.
Well, that's
we're going to
something
make
we talked
quilts.
about, but obviously just came to
Yeah,
fruition.
we'll make
right now.
quilts. We'll make quilts from each state. You know, each state can have a quilt
So-
and of what they've donated and contributed that in that aspect. You know, we've got a lot of great marketing ideas. Actually, speaking to
Well,
a
you have
marketing
a
agent
marketing
tomorrow.
agency that's reaching out, so
We've
we'll
got
let them
sponsors that
handle
are already
stuff like
reaching out.
that.
We've got a lot of interest in this, and again, this is going to be a thing that's going to be run without, if we can help it in any way, shape, or form, as little fossil fuels as we can use. It's not going to be pharma. You will never see a pharma logo as a donor.
Because we won't allow them to sponsor us.
I won't allow that. It's not who I'm not going to allow to sponsor.
There's going to be quite a few that we won't allow to sponsor us.
Right, that we won't allow to sponsor us. So just that you listen, you don't.
It goes against everything that we are.
So everything we fight against.
That's right.
So is it a lot of money, people, that we're looking at to tell them to stick it? Yes, but you know what? There is so much money in our community alone that there's no reason why this walk can't happen every single day.
But we'll get to more about the walk as time goes on. You know, each episode will touch base and give you updates on where we are with it. But
I'm sorry I talked about that a lot, but you know this passion in me, and I got this. You know, I have so many beautiful people that I know across this country that are in the same mindset that I am. They think the same way I do. And are they in the same condition I'm in? Yes, you guys got to remember, I'm not Michael Phelps. I'm not an athlete, you know. I'm a sick guy that's going to do this because it needs to be done. It's because it needs to be done. Not because of any other reason.
You're right, and like I said before, we're at a point in this movement that it's a necessity. We do need this, and I wasn't in agreement with it from the beginning. Pete and I went back and forth with this because I was not in agreement because he's my husband and he is sick, and I know the toll that this is going to take. That is the main reason why I'm going.
I promised you I wouldn't do it. You know, the wrong way.
This is his passion. This is what he after much thought about it. I agree that it needs to happen. Do I like that it's him that's doing it? Not so much. Do I wish it was somebody else? Sure. But I know my husband, and I know no matter what, this is what he wants. This is his passion. This is where his heart is. So I'm going to walk alongside of him, make sure that he's okay, and we're going to get this done because that's just what we do.
We always do what we say we're going to do.
So with that being said, we have a great show coming up. We have a local resident that's coming on and showing her artwork, and she's a beautiful kid, and we met her at Empowering Port Jervis. Her name is Julia Williams. She's an author. She's an illustrator. She is
she's a teacher.
She's
a student of even her own culture and where she lives because her family's been embedded in it. She wrote a book, Amaya and Kamiko. I hope I got that right because I always have a sleepover, and it'll eventually be a series. But it's a great
but she's going to let us. She's going to let us know all about it. But so that's going to be our show today, and so we'll be back.
We'll be back in just a few
moments,
and
we will introduce Julia.
Awesome. Pete Yapel, Cwt Talk CBDs, everybody, representing the best product on the planet, Willow Creek Springs. Listen, there's not a time in the day that every human being on this planet doesn't have inflammation ravaging through their body. And CBD treatment using cannabidiol is the only true effective way to reduce this inflammation. At Willow Creek Springs, we have many forms, but I carry with me a sublingual spray on a daily basis. It's 2 milligrams squirt under my tongue whenever I need the relief, whenever I'm feeling a little bit down, even a little bit stressed out. I can do the same thing. CBDs work in many ways. So reach out to us at Cwt Talk CBDs at 845-522-3162. Get yourself hooked up with the best product on the planet. And hey, if you've got a business, this is the stuff you need. We're compassionately priced so that everyone can afford it. Thanks again.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. We have with us tonight Julia Williams. How are you? Julia is someone that we met in Empowering Port Jervis, which was an awesome meetup, I have to tell you.
Sure, well, it was a pleasure, an
absolute pleasure. And Julia, you are a resident here in Port Jervis.
Yes, I am.
And you are probably the youngest author I know.
Oh, thank you.
Most definitely the youngest.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, please.
So let's see. I'm a Leo.
Okay.
That's a fun fact.
Okay.
I went to Montclair State University for 9 years for illustration, as well as Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design in Colorado in 2012.
Wow.
Yes, for one semester, but who's counting?
Right. What does that really matter?
Really?
Really matter.
Yeah.
When did you really truly realize you had a passion for art? I mean, and
Illustration.
illustration and such. Yeah.
Illustration-wise, I think I had a passion for it about when I did start Montclair State in 2009. I've always had a passion for drawing as well as painting and pastels. I really love pastels, but
Okay.
painting is my go-to.
Oh, okay, great. So
she's always doodling at Empowering Port Jervis. You see her with her pad and her pencil in her hand. She's constantly creating, and that's what I think I love so much about you. You're constantly in that mode.
well, right. She
You
has
know?
a passion for what she
Really,
does, and
she's
sticks
just
to it.
constantly in that mode. It's so awesome to see.
Exactly.
But now your pen name is Nihilus Williams, correct? Is
Correct.
That, okay.
Yes, Nihilus Williams.
Right, and is that
And
how
tell
people
us-
would find you? Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, like on Facebook or anything. Is that?
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Okay, that's
So
what
they
you're
follow your pen name, not Julia Williams.
Correct.
Okay, great.
And the name of your book?
The name of my book is Aya and Kimiko Have a Sleepover, and it is a children's book based off of two little young girls that are shy and they haven't made any friends yet in their neighborhood, and it's just a very soft touching kind of book where these girls learn about different cultures through playing. And that's a great a great thing for me because I didn't have those types of friends growing up. So
It's so important.
yeah.
Well, artistry in
There's
general,
cultural differences to put them together. It's just so important.
Oh, yeah.
artistry in
Human
general
growth,
is
period.
just a way for us to express those things that we most of the time, I believe, hold personal. You know, because it's very when you're putting your art out in any kind of way. I don't care if it's written, drawn, music, whatever. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, your
Absolutely.
true self to be vulnerable.
Of course.
Now, how long is this going to be? A series of books, or was this just a one-time book? You know, like an adventure of these two.
So yes, it is going to be a series. I'm trying to get the book off the ground right now and get it to mass production because people have been asking me, when is the book coming out? When is the book coming out? It is published, but there's only one copy that is published.
Right.
So that's going to be done this April. The anniversary is actually in 2 days
Wow.
since it's publishing. Yes.
Fantastic.
Other than writing a book and the painting and sketching and all that beautiful art that you do river dancing, correct?
Ribbon dancing.
Is it ribbon dancing? I thought it was a river.
Not river dancing.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
Oh no.
Oh, so it's a ribbon dancing.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's a ribbon dance. Excuse me. That was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
fault.
I was
I
like river
misunderstood
dancing.
you.
That's
No,
new.
She does it with ribbons. I've seen it on
She's like,
Facebook.
where did you read that?
I
That's
saw
new.
her. She showed us a video of it one day at the
That's
at
right.
Empowering, and I was really taken by that too because I just think it's beautiful and in general,
Thank you.
emotional. Yeah, oh yeah.
But how do you learn that?
I'm self-taught.
Okay.
Okay.
I did go to China for a few weeks. I did watch the ribbon dance as well as fan veil dancing in 2007. And I was very inspired by it, and I bought my own. They're silk, 100% Chinese silk, and they are just absolutely gorgeous, and I've been practicing them ever since. I watch videos on YouTube as well as just teach myself and build up the arm strength in my arms.
Wow. Very, very
That's
cool.
fantastic. It's just beautiful motion to music in general, and kind of tells a story, I believe. But it's really cool stuff. It was really
You've
awesome. to see
you've
it.
traveled.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've seen some stuff.
Yes. Yes. Traveling wise, I've been to China in 2007. 2008, I went to France, Italy, Malta, and Sicily.
And you did this all for art, or?
I did it with People to People Student Ambassador Program.
Oh, okay, great,
yeah,
great.
in high
great.
school.
That's all. That's awesome. That is just so awesome.
That is awesome.
Listen, we found, Helen and I, the more places that we do see, the more we do appreciate this planet, and you know, some of the things that are going on. I mean, when you mention France now with Notre Dame burning,
Oh
and
my
I
God,
know.
you know,
that's
and such. There are places that if you people get a chance, you know, you really should go and look around. The world
Life is
is
short. It's definitely something that we all should be
take
doing.
advantage
is
of
traveling.
any opportunity is what
That's
I
for
always
sure.
say, because
Definitely.
you know, when I leave, I don't want any regret. That's one thing I don't want. I don't want to
No.
be on my deathbed going, but if I would have only, you know what I mean? That's one thing I just don't ever want to face personally.
So what is your goal through all of this work that you're doing? What is your end goal?
My end goal is to actually go to Japan and live there for at least a few years so I can really become fluent in the language and the culture and bring that home. And once I have a family, like have family life, I would like to have my kids travel as well and be really well-rounded individuals.
Are you
Yeah.
influenced by any particular artist or style of artistry that you'd like to follow more than others?
Yes, but there's no actual specifics, I should say. I get inspired by absolutely everything.
Okay.
So anything I see, anything that I like do, it's all like just done from my eyes, where I can say this appeals to me, this doesn't. This line I like, this does. It's the world is just very inspiring to me. But
Fantastic.
yeah.
Well, listen, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, but when we do come back, we're going to continue our interview with Julia.
Take a look at some of her work.
Yeah, sure. Yes, we'll have it up there on the screen. You know, Elise is brilliant
yeah.
at making sure that everybody's art is shown, as well as their craft as we do these shows. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we do come back, again, we'll have Julia Williams with us and continue the interview. Hey, everybody, Pete Yapo, and another segment of Pissed Off Pete. I was listening to the news today, and I don't like to listen to it often, but whenever something comes on about the world and pharmaceuticals or the direction of medicine, I'm always interested because obviously I'm, more of a pharma Nazi than a proponent. But I heard a statistic today that really truly didn't shock me. Honestly, it's probably one of the most overprescribed medications that doctors find it very easy to let ink flow to a pen and just hand out in so many cases where they're not even needed. And that is antibiotics. Now, over 250 million antibiotic prescriptions are written each year, according to the CDC, and 1/3 of those shouldn't even be prescribed. 1/3 of the, listen, people, that's 83.3 million prescriptions are written that aren't needed, that are harmful, that are, when we put them in our body, we build up immunities to them and stop our body from producing natural antibodies to fight things. Now, we know that there is a natural antibody we can use every day found in cannabidiol, which is within the cannabis plant. But of course, being handcuffed by government and laws, we aren't able to use this, grow this plant, and use it the proper way as freely as we can. But we'd instead, as intelligent human beings that pay doctors exorbitant amounts of money because they're supposedly professionals that are there to do us no harm, please, how can you be prescribing a poison to put into a human being's body and call it not doing them harm? I don't care if that poison is going to kill them instantly, if it's going to kill them over time, or if it's going to prevent their body from working in a natural defense that it's made to do. If you're prescribing those things, you are hurting patients. Classic example, 5 days I lay in a hospital thinking I'm going to have open heart surgery. Blood pressure's fine, cholesterol's fine, everything is fine. I leave that hospital with 5 prescriptions for my heart, all to combat all of the conditions I just told you I was tested in the hospital for and was fine. Now, if we're going to sit back and let these people freely just scribe pen to paper to kill us and be okay with it because they've got a degree, I'm opening my own school because it's needed at this point in time. If what it takes for somebody to walk around with a white jacket on and a stethoscope around their neck in order for you to listen to them, from now on, I will shoot my show like that. People, open your minds. If you don't need something, don't put it in your mouth. I don't care who gives it to you. 1/3, 83.3 million prescriptions, people. That's what I'm pissed off about. I'll see you next week. I'm sure somebody's going to make me mad.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here still with Julia, and we're going to talk about what's next for her.
Yeah, again,
School.
everybody, for those
More
of you that might have
school.
joined us late, Julia Williams, she's a local artist here in Port
Yes.
Jervis. She's written a book called Aya and Kimiko
Kimiko.
have a sleepover. I don't want to get it wrong.
Aya and Kimiko have a sleepover.
Yeah, she's a local artist. She's about ready. She has one copy of this book published and is now going to have the rest of it put out because people are catching on, getting a chance.
Yeah,
to
well, let
read
me
it.
ask you this. Is there something that anybody can help you with getting this published and more books published?
What do you
Yes.
find your biggest hang-ups to be?
One of my biggest hangups is going to be starting the Kickstarter, getting it on the internet, as well as getting a following. I'm not the most popular. I don't have like 50,000 people following me,
Correct.
so it's one of those things that I'm trying to build up a following, as well as build up
Which is work, right?
people. Yes.
Well, we're kind of glad to have you here, and hopefully even just being on our local access. I mean, we're in more.
Yeah.
We are viewed by over 2 million homes here in
Yep.
New York alone. So, you know,
Wow.
hopefully, you know,
Yeah.
we get
hi.
get some awareness.
Hello,
out. Yeah,
everybody.
Get some awareness out there that way. That's always what we try. Again, it's about bolstering
Yes.
community. It's
Yes.
about us supporting each other, and when somebody's doing something good and positive for the community, we want to be the first to help them.
So
Oh,
what brought you
wonderful.
into empowering Port Jervis? What brought you in there? Because that's where we met.
That is a good question. A few years ago, I wanted to take art lessons as well as get out of the house. So I went down to Empowering Port Jervis. I just walked down from where I live to Empowering, and I met Joe Ryan, who was actually previously on your show.
Yes.
And he was teaching cartooning. And so I got really inspired, and
Wow.
then he went to school. So then I said to myself, you know what, I'll try to teach the art classes while he's away. And that's how I got even more
Wow.
involved.
See, that's
And, yeah.
fantastic.
And you're more toward portrait more
Portraits.
so than what he
Caricature
does.
type
What he does, the
stuff.
Right.
caricature stuff. Yeah.
Right, right. He does the anime and stuff a lot. I mean, believe me,
Yeah.
he does brilliant stuff. He doesn't just do that, and we were really impressed by his work when we looked at it too. But that's good. Listen, that's what empowering in Port Jervis, I believe, is about.
Yes.
I believe it is all about us in the community, giving to those rest in the community that what we have to offer. And, you know, sometimes it's just us serving a soup. You know that. You know
Right.
what I
Yes.
mean? Sometimes it's
Right.
just us handing out free milk. Whatever it is that we can do at that place, I
So
think
helpful.
is great. Yeah.
Yes.
And again, well, look at, we meet great people. You know, we've met all sorts of great people. A lot of our interviews that are and booked, especially through April Wall, is local people right from your very own neighborhood.
Well, that's what
that
I've been
we've-
shooting for, is to get as much local talent and local guests on, so that we can, you know, first and foremost, I want people to know that we're here and to utilize the space, because it's such a platform that we can really make change, real positive change, you know, with this space. And
Empowering Port Jervis has taught me so much. It even encouraged me to take art teaching to another level, and I taught art at Camp Shane in Ferndale, New York,
good
when
for
it was
you.
still located in Ferndale. And it was just a great time. The kids are amazing, and they need that artistic outlet.
oh, most
They're
definitely.
so
Well,
creative.
I think
Most
I think
definitely.
it's a great place to start, especially for someone that wants to educate or
Yeah.
wants to. It's a great platform. There's no pressure. You know what I mean? What you're offering to people is, you know, just of you. And you know, and that's just great practice. You know, it's fantastic practice. But I'm glad to see you took it elsewhere. Now, quick question too. I know you have very deep-rooted history here
Yeah,
in Port
you
Jervis
do.
as well, don't you?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Oh, I know almost nothing about it. No, I'm kidding. But no, I have my grandparents, and I think we even the greats lived here as well, cousins-wise. My grandma is Roberta Glinton.
Right.
She also has a building named after her across the street from
Right.
Bon Secours. And she was a great lady. And as for the history, my history started with my grandmother. She was the one that helped me travel. She was the one that encouraged me and brought me back souvenirs from her travels to China and France and
right.
Germany. So,
Oh, so she was the
yes.
one who actually kind of turned you on, so to speak, to that whole culture.
Well,
She's a
let me
beautiful
let me
lady.
make a
Yeah.
point to our audience. And in this, now you have a young lady that understands the importance of her lineage, understands the importance of her community, knows how hard her grandmother fought, and now
Yeah.
she's picking up the reins
Look at
herself.
the appreciation
and
that
and
she
this
has
is
for
what all the Port Jervis project is about.
That's right.
It's about accountability of the community to better itself, not rely upon their government to do anything other than what they're there to do, and that is truly just pay the bills and keep order. Otherwise, it's truly up to us. It's up to us to raise the leaders that we want, which in the community, and look at this beautiful young lady that we're raising. We're raising beautiful young people in the community that are finally realizing enough is enough, and it's again done through something beautiful, not through something
Oh my
destructive.
God! Look at all the beautiful things she's contributed to this to her
Right.
community already.
It doesn't have to be destructive to make change. We don't have to yell and scream. We don't have to burn things. We don't have to do this. These are the ways that those that I mean, you know, I guess anybody says that any press is good press. Well, I guess if you're a superstar or a celebrity, maybe it is, because then your name is just relevant. But we're not talking about specific names. We're talking about a community in which we're healing. And in doing so, we will raise great leaders within the community. I'm not saying Julia's going to run for office. That's not what I'm saying.
You never
What I'm
know.
saying is, but you never know. But what I'm saying is she'll be a leader within her community.
That's
People will
right.
take from
She
example.
already is.
And
Heck
we'll move
yeah.
forward. We can have a better life.
Already is. Already doing it.
It's all just about a better life, folks.
That's for sure.
That's fantastic.
So do you have any more school that you're going to have to go through to meet the goals that you set for yourself?
I think right now I'm really set with school, but other than that, I would like to go back to school for linguistics.
Right, just to learn other languages.
Yes.
It's so valuable to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially in today's world. But we have people that, I mean, you know, listen, we have been blessed in the community, the cannabis community that Helen and I belong to, with so many people from so many different walks of life and so many different things to offer. And in our community, that's what we do.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
what
we
do.
offer. You know, it's probably, you know, as close to a religion as I'd ever want to get. You know, because there's no rules really,
And
besides
being-
being a kind person, really.
And being somebody that is young and of this generation and in this industry, how do you feel about it?
About
How do you feel
Cannabis
about
or the cannabis
industry
plant?
and what's
Oh,
happening
okay.
with it right now?
Yes, for the cannabis industry, I'm actually glad that there was a law passed that they don't need to do that drug test anymore. If that's correct.
Right.
Okay.
In the city,
So
yeah.
I think that's absolutely wonderful because some people need cannabis or even CBDs to level or regulate whatever it is that they're doing.
Correct.
And I'm all for it. I think that is actually a very great thing.
Fantastic. Well, we always ask everybody their stance. It's because we talk, as you know, we teach it and you
Right.
hear us speak on CBDs constantly. But when we finally realize how misinformed or how uneducated people are when it truly comes to the plant,
That's
it
truly
becomes
the
a
reason I asked.
necessity for us to.
Yes,
to,
it
to-
is. It is. Well, because that's where the change is going to come about. You know, it's to hear that you're on board with it is wonderful. To hear also that you really don't know anything about it is also what I hear.
Right.
So that's a problem.
Right.
We need to address that problem to make this this transition into ending prohibition a comfortable one as it should be, rather than one of just a bunch of misinformation and so that's what our goal is.
Right,
Is,
right.
is to make sure
Just-
that
just that
everybody
everybody has a
understands
clear
why
understanding.
it's so important to
Right.
end prohibition. Because we're at a place and we're at a stance where we feel that anything less is genocide.
Yeah, and totally
That's-
totally
that's how we feel.
unacceptable. Well, everybody, listen. This is Julia Williams. We're glad we were able to have
Yes.
her on our show.
Aya and Kimiko, right? Kimiko?
Kimiko.
Kimiko. Aya and Kimiko have a sleepover.
Look for that book. If you
Yes.
have any help for Julia, please reach out to her. If you know an easier way for her to get published faster, just can give her some hints. Please, folks, that's what our show is about,
Yes.
helping community. Please, her information will be on the screen. Feel free to reach out to her, but only offer her good information. Okay, guys, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, you know, you'll just see our two beautiful faces again here. Okay, everybody, for a little bit, peace.
Well, welcome back, everybody, and we are here with Joseph Ryan, cartoonist and illustrator that we had the pleasure of meeting at Empowering Port Jervis.
I got to tell you, the kid's got a craft.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he is an incredible artist, first of all, and we'll get to show you some of his stuff while it's up.
Yes.
But what I was impressed by was how he led the class and how he kept
Yes.
the attention, how he kept it interesting and such. So, Joseph, welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here tonight.
Excellent, excellent. Why don't you let everybody know just a little bit about
Yeah.
yourself?
Sure, absolutely. I am a 2018 graduate of the world famous Cwt School of Dover, New Jersey.
Wow.
Awesome.
And I am a freelance illustrator and cartoonist.
Fantastic. And I hear you doing yourself. You actually have a comic that you're writing.
That is correct.
Awesome.
I am creating a comic book. It's called My Life with an 80s Girl. A little nod to the 80s, you know, for all you fans out
I'm
there.
an 80s girl.
Oh, yeah. You know how it is. For all you fans out there who grew up with Back to the Future, you know,
yeah.
Weird Science, all that stuff, this is for you. But
Fantastic.
it's also going to be
Awesome.
introduced for younger audiences, too. So it's going to be an all-ages comedy that's going to be introducing the 80s to the younger generation as well as also jokes that's going to
great.
be for the older generation.
Fantastic.
That's so cool.
Fantastic. And is there a certain setting this is taking place in?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
It takes place in L.A. in the present day and L.A. in 1984.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How about that? How
Yeah.
about that?
Very
That is
cool.
fantastic. So when people think about that, they would think, oh, he was going to make it futuristic or this. That.
Oh, no.
That's,
Oh
that-
no!
That's
Well,
incredible. That's
there is a
great
little
topic.
bit of sci-fi that happens. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
Right.
Roxy's sister is from the future, so
Okay. And
Okay.
Roxy,
Back to the imagination.
Okay.
is Roxy the main character? right?
yes,
Oh, okay.
Roxy is the main character.
Okay.
Roxy Wilds is a she's basically every guy's dream girl of the 80s.
Oh,
She's
okay.
a fashion model.
So she has big hair.
yeah,
That's a definite.
big hair, Madonna fashion. You know how it is.
Awesome.
And the thing with Roxy is she is a model. She's a rock star, but she also has a hidden side that not too many people know about. Like when she meets Alvin, who, by the way, is like totally into Back to the Future and Transformers and all that geeky stuff of the 80s. So when she meets Alvin, she kind of hides her true self, but then when she gets to know Alvin, she kind
She
of lets
kinda
out
lets
her
out.
lets it out, lets her geek thing
Well,
fly.
that's
Oh,
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. And like, when did you first recognize or realize that this is really what you loved to do? Have you always drawn, like, you know?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I actually started drawing at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I started drawing probably around the age of 5, maybe
Wow.
4 years old, and I've been drawing ever since. I always wanted to be an artist, and when I was 13, I thought about going to art school and really like making it professionally. So I contacted the school of Joe Kubert, who wanted me to take additional classes before I applied to their school.
Right.
So I did. I went to Orange County Community College and took 3 years worth of art classes:
Okay.
history of animation, color theory, painting, life drawing, all that.
Oh, wonderful. See, but it's very odd, honestly, for kids, especially at the age of 13, to truly know what they want to do and
Really?
then take the time to pursue it. That there just tells me a lot about your character, and I appreciate that. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
You're an old soul.
Yes, I am. I am an old
He's
soul.
done this before.
I grew up. I feel like I relate more to the older generation of the people who grew up in the 1980s than I do of what goes on today. Like I feel like I relate to a different era,
Yeah.
which is so true.
Yeah.
We both do too. I mean, even though I was born in the '60s, I should have lived in the '60s and '70s. Honestly, just culturally,
Yeah.
culturally for my type of people, a lot of people that just have care, kindness, love, and peace. And at that point in time, they were just looked at a bunch of tree hugging weirdos. But we, to me, that's truly the basis of humanity. But yeah, so with your cartoonism, that's what you truly like to do. Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
do other art as well, though? Do you
Yes.
do like life?
I do
like
life
paintings?
drawing. I do painting. I do like really hardcore comic book work. If like I have a really good reference of like a Marvel character or DC character, I will study that reference and draw that character in
Wow.
that style.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Now, do you sell any of your work?
Yes.
Okay,
I actually
great.
do go to conventions. I've been to quite a few comic conventions: New York Comic Con, New Jersey Comic Expo, Garden State Comic Fest.
So how did you find Empowering Port Jervis?
Well, that's a funny story. This goes way back to when I was a kid. I actually knew Ann Horsham
Yes,
from
who's
when I was
Such
a kid.
beautiful soul.
Oh,
this
she's a
woman
great
is.
person.
Oh yeah.
I knew
Absolutely.
her from when I was really little, and she used to run this program, and we had stayed in touch for the longest time. And then one day, it was a couple years back, she was at an art show. I was there, and then she says that she's opening up the center, and she's going to call it Empowering Port Jervis, and she asked me if I would like to teach classes there.
Wow.
So that's another thing that I love to do. I
Yeah.
love to teach my
Yeah.
craft. Not only do I love to
You had a great class. I mean, I
oh,
walked
yeah.
in on it, and
Oh,
it
I'll
was
tell
a
you,
great,
I
a
sat
lot
there
of
with
kids,
him, right.
great
And I
class.
sat there with him, and the thing I loved was there was a girl at the end. There was a girl he gave special time to,
Yes.
extra time to, and
So important.
advised her on how to
Absolutely.
get her equipment and everything. So please, when we tell people on a daily, because everyone that follows Helen and I knows, we talk about Empowering Port Jervis every
That's
day
right.
and the importance of it and how it's going to help
That's
us
right.
be communally strong and how people of this community have so much to offer.
Right. We
And-
talk about living the changes we wish to see in the world,
Right.
and all I can say is there's the poster child of that.
That's right, and we find that.
I don't know what else to
to
say. That's really it. You know, I mean, you do that. You live the changes that you want to see, and that's so
Absolutely.
important.
Oh,
and
definitely.
everybody should do that.
I really liked the patience you had.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
you showed great
kids.
restraint because some of the kids are challenged.
Yeah.
And have a hard time either sitting or being distracted. But you handled everyone so professionally and so kind, and they were comfortable, and that makes for such a great teacher. So I hope
Absolutely.
you consider
yes.
that someday.
Yeah.
After you're done doing
Oh,
everything
I
else you want to do.
definitely will.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was that kid. I was the kid who had trouble focusing. I was the kid who struggled paying attention, who was antsy. I was a kid who needed extra time to really flourish.
Wow.
And I had great teachers in my life
That's
who gave
good.
me time.
See, that's a testament.
And
right
look it,
there.
and there you are, giving it right back. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's
That's
what it
my-
means.
that was my
That's what
point,
it's
paying it
all
forward.
about, people. That's
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
It's great to meet people that don't constantly just focus on reward.
Yes.
Believe me,
Oh.
the greatest reward you can give is yourself to someone else.
That's
it's
right.
The greatest gift you can do is just to give yourself your service
Look,
to
we,
another
we,
human
we,
being.
we have so many of us that are searching for some type of identity. And the way that you find that is to lose yourself in the service of others. And it's so true. It's just how you do it.
I could think of how that could even aid you in your creativity.
yes.
Meeting new people
yeah.
and teaching new people and obviously absorbing parts of their personality. Is that somehow much how it works sometimes with you? or-
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like when I teach a student, I feel empowered because I'm helping someone else, and that makes me feel good.
It's just all good energy.
Yeah,
You know,
it
so
is.
it's
It's
just,
the positive vibes,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
I listen. It's fantastic. And now you do
Love
this
it.
every Saturday there, correct?
Yes, every
and-
Saturday.
Oh, I'm
from
gonna
the
be there
times,
every
if
Saturday,
you could
Nick.
tell us the times, and Elise will
So
put
I
it
don't
across our
interrupt
screen.
next time.
Absolutely. My times from when I teach is 1 o'clock till 2:30. The class is $60 for those of you who are wondering, and it actually is a free week course on character design. So your student, it's open to students of all ages, and it will take the students' work from pencil to full color in a matter of 6 weeks.
And I'll
Wow.
tell you, when they're really developing their own stories, they're not just drawing one character. That's not what he's asking them.
no.
I mean, some of the plots that I heard,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
listen to these minds.
Yeah,
They're,
they were creating.
Yeah.
When we interrupted, you guys were in the midst of talking about your drawing.
yeah.
Honestly, and I feel like young people are so important because they are the
That's the
they are
future.
the future
Yes.
animators. They are the
future
future
of
creators,
everything.
comic book writers.
All of
You
it.
know.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel that it's strong when you get young people involved in this because there's so many people out there who don't feel they're good enough, and if they're given the right potential, they'll shine.
Well, we
That's
say
for
it all the
sure.
time. People just
That's for
need a
sure.
purpose. If you give
Yes.
someone a purpose, then they will be plentiful to the rest of us all. There'll be positivity abound. Because why? Because then
Absolutely.
they feel as though
Yeah.
they are worth something, and that's all we really want.
That's right.
Just think of anybody out there. Just think of this. When's the last time you've like say you even if it's just something simple as basketball, and you're at the three-point line and you shoot and boom, you hit it. You are never happier in your life. That exhilaration at
Yeah,
that
that's
moment
right.
because of the accomplishment that you did. It's
Right.
the same thing with anything and service
Right.
in general. Like you're just saying, like, just that kid. When you've got to be taken back, or sometimes like with some of the things your students put out, correct? I mean,
Oh,
like that show you
definitely.
after just listening.
Definitely.
Right.
Well, when you notice that they're paying attention. You
Oh
know?
yeah, like the
They
other.
got
It
that.
was 2 weeks ago. My students, they were so quiet. So I'm like, I hope I'm not, boring them. But it turns out they weren't bored. They were really following,
Listening, yeah.
listening to what I had to say.
Awesome.
And they loved it.
Wow.
Now, the kids that come in, do they all already have some talent level, or is it just anyone? Like, someone that couldn't draw a straight line if they
It's-
wanted to?
There are some people that, have more experience than
Right,
others.
right.
But there's also some students that, really,
Just want to learn.
they just want to
Right,
learn.
But
right.
what's my
Exactly.
point is
Exactly.
can anyone of any level really come and take your class? I mean, can you teach someone
someone
from
with
that couldn't
no
draw a circle?
creativity-
Could you help them? Is my point.
I could, but it might take additional classes.
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
really like honing in on that student's individual needs.
Right. So
Okay.
the ones at Empowering Port, Jervis, then are kind of like if you have some kind of basis already and you're just learning to expand upon it, that 3-course class could definitely help you. But that doesn't mean you wouldn't discourage anyone. If anyone wanted to reach out to you to help them learn from scratch, you
I would
definitely.
absolutely encourage people to reach out to me so I can help them.
Fantastic.
What are your goals now? Where are you heading? Tell us that. Where are you heading?
Where am I heading?
Yeah.
I want to create my comic, and after I'm done publishing the comic, I want to take it out to comic conventions. I'm
Okay.
very big on social media. I'm trying to get it out
Yes,
there.
we noticed that. Like 2 million followers. Like, how do you do that?
My wife was the most envious human being in the world.
So like,
I'm like, damn millennials.
I'm trying to get out there. What I really want to do is bring My Life as an 80s Girl,
Mm-hmm.
not only as a comic, but as an animated show. And I
Oh,
actually know
wow.
people that are going to help me in the future
Oh,
do
wow.
Fantastic.
Very
So,
cool.
are you going to put this out in a series? As obviously like other comics, or is
Yes.
this going to be one book? Oh, okay.
that. Oh, it's going to be a series. It's
Just
going to be
like
a monthly
Spider-Man and
series
everything
from
else is-
1984 to 1989.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. You already mapped
Wow.
out the plan. That's
Yep.
fantastic. That's it. I can even see that in the cartoons, and I can't wait for the music because they put out some good music.
Oh yeah,
It's-
definitely.
it's-
Now, as far as music goes, a lot of my inspiration comes from retro wave music, new retro wave music, which is a genre on YouTube of modern day 80s music.
Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
I can't even imagine what this is sounding like because I never listened to any of the modern music now.
Oh,
modern
believe
day
me,
80s.
believe me, I don't like the music of today.
Okay.
I'm just being honest here. I like 80s music, and this music feels like 80s music.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Good. Good. It's
okay.
got that feel. Awesome.
right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Excuse me. How many kids have normally attend these classes of your on Saturdays?
Oh, that's a great question. Right now, I have about 8 students.
Okay.
11 in total.
Okay.
So, but I probably will stop at 11.
Right, well,
Yes.
I was going to ask you, or say, I think that small group, you at least get that focus.
Oh,
Yeah, it was. I mean,
absolutely.
and all of yous around that table. It looks even like more.
Oh, yeah.
Than what it is.
Right.
You know, and
Definitely.
everybody's it was a really good class. It was a good outcome. That's for sure.
And it's a wonderful feeling, too.
Yeah,
Working at a convention is probably one of the most funnest things I've ever done.
Really?
It is. You're meeting people with a common interest. You're meeting people who love what you love, but you're at the same time, you're also meeting people who are creators themselves. A lot of people who go to cons are creators themselves.
Either probably trying to look for idea, inspiration, or
Right.
constructive criticism. I'm sure you get a lot
Yep,
of that as well.
Yep,
Right.
yep, absolutely. And the school I went to was actually really good about that. They wanted students to know what it felt like to go up to people and get like feedback
Yeah.
for their work. So in first year, they had us walk up and get portfolio
Well, it's
reviews.
part of the growth process.
Yeah.
No matter what. I
Oh,
mean, that's
absolutely.
what it is.
And it gave me a thicker skin as an
yes,
artist.
absolutely.
I appreciate it when people actually take the time,
Take
you know,
the time to teach
Right.
something so special.
and take the time to come here, because, you know, this is your time, you know what I mean? We
Definitely.
appreciate you coming here because, you know, people, if people don't know things are available, or people aren't aware, how are they ever
this-
going to, you know, get
This
get
is
and learn
also
the experience?
assisting us in making the changes that we want to see here in Port
Port
Jervis.
Jervis, right? Because
You
we're
know,
trying
you're
to.
a part of it too, you know, and we're all working together
And I
to do
really
the same
thank
thing.
you for you know, having me on your show. I
Oh,
think
thank
this
you for
is
coming.
an amazing opportunity.
Well,
to
Joseph,
be
if
a part of
anybody
that.
wanted to reach out to you, get a hold of you, maybe to
Yeah,
take
please
a
tell
class,
us.
learn, please tell them
Yes.
how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, you can email me at josephryan@kubertschool.edu to contact me via a class or a commission. I also, my phone number is 321-4416. Again, that number is 845-321-4416. And I also have an Instagram, which is madcapcartoonist at instagram.com.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, everybody-
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed all that beautiful artwork, just like I did.
I hope you enjoyed that, and Pissed Off Pete, and all the projects we got going on. And, you know, it's been one of those shows that enlightens me, you know, because it's all about positivity as we.
Well, I think if it was a show, that's kind of the point. That's what we want to do, though. You know, we want to, you know, bring awareness and enlightenment to the community. And
Hey, folks, if you've got a feel-good story, something that happens, something that has happened in your neighborhood, that's something good, something happy, we want to share good news too.
Absolutely.
So please reach out to us at www.cwt42smallotv@gmail.com. Send us in your happy news. Or again, if you want to be a guest
be a
on
guest,
the show, if
you
you
have a
anything,
talent
right?
you want to show off.
Or if
Please.
you just want to be
Feel
a
free.
studio guest, please come on down. We do have a free tickets Gmail. You really don't need it. Until next Monday, what do you think?
I think that you all need to live the changes you wish to see in the world.
That's right. And we'll be back again just to educate you, entertain you guys, and teach you how to live a Canna lifestyle. Thank you again for joining us.